What's good, squad? I'm back with part 3. And if you're new over here, I'm doing a series of me reacting to Kirk Franklin, The Den of Kings. It's basically a show about how young black people, black men, and everybody made it to the top. You know what I'm saying? Got their story to success. And I'm reacting to that, bro. So I'm just gonna be putting in my input. And yeah, my bad, squad. This is part 3, but we finna get straight into it.
Watch this. I want to say something to you, Jonathan, and I want to be able to give a transparent moment to be able to meet you where you are. And just to be able to know that I felt you on the deeper level of what we were talking about earlier. So, y'all all know that I've gone through things with my oldest son, right? You know, did you know that?
No, sir.
Did you ever hear about this thing about my son exposing me on a tape he recorded me, like using profanity? Did you ever hear about that?
No, sir.
Wow, okay. So there was something, I have an older son, he's 37, and I love him deeply.
Yes, sir.
I love him deeply. And as a family, we have had to walk out this topic in his life since he was young. And he's amazing. He's brilliant. And I love him. And I miss him. I miss my son. I miss hope.
And for y'all that don't know what he's talking about, squad, he basically had whoa, I was gonna get D, my bad, squad. Hold on.
And embracing my son. Well, something happened about almost 16 years ago where I had a bad emotional anxiety breakdown when we started to realize it was having issues. When this situation happened 4 years ago, I had always struggled with anxiety, NL, and I'd always struggled with depression. But when this happened with my son, I had to go through it publicly. And I don't even know if you know this. Well, you said you didn't know, but it was something public that I went through, King.
Yes, sir.
And then 2 years after that, this whole thing about me thinking what some guy was my dad and he wasn't my daddy. You remember this whole situation? That broke me too. Because first I didn't have a daddy. And then to find out that God allowed a man to live 10 minutes from me my whole life that was my daddy, that could have helped me out in life. And that didn't happen.
I ain't gonna lie, bros. That's not my situation. If you're caught up and watched through part 1, part 2, that's not my situation, bro. But I can't even imagine. That's crazy. Like, how can a parent live, like he just said, 10 minutes away from your own kid that you birthed into this world and not even, you know what I'm saying? But hey.
Anxiety and depression got so bad for me that I couldn't pray it away. And I was embarrassed and it made me question my faith, but I had to use medicinal help. And I felt like a failure as a Christian to be able to have to get on some medicine to help me with my anxiety and depression because of how I was raised. I could not pray it away. And this is my first time ever admitting.
Do you still have troubles with anxiety now as to that and depression?
I am better because I have had to get help with it.
Can I share what helped with me? Not putting a rule down, but can I just share what helped with
Sure.
What helps with my anxiety and depression? Nature.
Nature helps me, but it didn't help me enough. I've always been a nature, it didn't help me enough. So coming back to you, what gave you the courage when you started to publicly, like you did, in such a comfortable way? Is because I've never had that courage. But when you just did that, I found inspiration in that. Where did you get that from, that it wouldn't take away from your masculinity, that it wouldn't take away from your own power?
I think it goes all the way back to kind of what we all said, what I said, and Ray J jumped down. I was like, and I want to be clear about it. Like, when I say I don't care, it's not the fact that I don't care about anything. It's just my priorities are so clear now that my mental health, my mental fitness, my physical fitness, my spiritual fitness, these things I cherish. These things are precious. And it is the ego, it is the it's the Google, Facebook chat book, you know, it is all these things, you know, that distract from that, you know, and when I've got now on the other side of it, right? Like, I just really love what's going on, you know? Your question is, how I get to the other side?
Well, my question is how did you find the comfort and courage to be able to
because it's more, that's what it is. Because we say that in drama school, you have to increase your need to communicate, right? Like that was our big thing, right? If you can't hear, you increase your need to communicate. I feel so led to break down, right, and diagnose this taboo thing that is around us as men, and especially us as black men, and especially on us as Christian black men.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I feel like that is a calling.
Wow.
And a mission for me, because stepping out and watching everything go, you see what people think about you. And you take the good with the bad, you take the crooked with the straights. And what I realized is there's a whole group, a whole ecosystem, an entire demographic of people who are looking at people like me, people like Kev, people like Doc, people like my homie, people like you, and saying, what do they do? What do they do? What do they do? And I go, if the Lord has put me on this earth, and has put me through all this, right? And I'm still standing, and I'm still here, right?
Yeah, squad, I know what he's saying, bro. Like, a lot of people, they look at like these celebrities and football players, and they think just because they have money, they're gonna have no problems in their life, bro. When they deal with the same thing we deal with, you know what I'm saying? They human. A lot of people think money buys happiness. I don't think, squad, money buys happiness. It buys freedom, you know what I'm saying, which can make you happy. But if money buys happiness, bro, there would be a lot less famous people just ODing and, you know what I'm saying, taking their own life, bro. That's just my opinion.
I gotta share that. You know, I gotta share that. And the things that were burdening me, I'm gonna unburden in front of folk so they can see that it's okay. It's really okay that you hurt sometimes. That sometimes the prayers you don't feel like they working.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they're not working, but sometimes it feels like they ain't working.
Some days
you know? Yes, some days they do. Some days they do.
Some days they don't feel like they're working.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, like
Yes, sir.
you got
Yes,
the
sir.
most beautiful woman.
Yes.
And sometimes she can't turn it around for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That like these material things do not mitigate the suffering.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They don't mitigate it.
Whoa, you can park right there, man.
Yo, will somebody let Ray know that his board would love him back in? Yeah.
Park right there, man.
Yeah, and I think that there's so many men that are watching this that are trying to figure it out. It's because here's the truth. We're all trying to figure it out. And I think that there is a level of grace that we don't give ourselves and each other because...
Yeah, squad, I agree with that, squad. Listen, in life, we all trying to figure it out. Something I realized, squad, is even our parents, your parents watching this, they didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because they were never in the position and no one really taught them how to be parents. You know what I'm saying? But also, he said you got to give yourself grace. I do struggle with that, squad. I was talking to somebody the other day. I ain't going to say their name. But I told them, I was like, bro, honestly, I'm my biggest critic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hard on myself. And the person just let me vent and let me talk. But, yeah, squad, you know what I'm saying? I got to work on that myself. And, I forgot what I was going to say, bro. My bad. Let me think. My bad, squad. It's late, bro.
That's huge, bro.
You jump on
That's
this.
huge. Not being so hard on self. It is perfection within our imperfection. That's huge, bro.
Yeah.
And he said, figuring out, squad. You know what I'm saying? Something about me, bro. I always tell people, I'm like, bro, I'm a hustler at heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fighter. Like, I ain't perfect. I got my flaws. But with that being said, though, squad, even with me in life at 22, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff I don't know that that probably will hurt me, you know what I'm saying? Good ups and downs, but I can't be necessarily too hard on myself like they saying, because what you don't know, you don't know. And even with this content stuff, gang, like I've went through every type of content. Now I'm on reactions, you know what I'm saying? I'm still fighting. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to go. I went, bro, from workout content squad to prank squad to interview squad to challenges squad. Oh, now I'm on reactions, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally fighting and going through every door. Opening the door, that ain't work. Opening the door, that ain't work. Trying this, trying that. And that's just content wise. I guarantee you there's people right now doing that with life, you know what I'm saying, in jobs, but hey.
It starts there, you know what I'm saying? That's
sir.
the first step of self-love, is to be gentle with self.
Self-love.
Treat yourself like a toddler.
Self-love, as black men, do we even feel worthy of that? Self-love, Doc. What does self-love look like?
Say something, Kev, because I feel it.
It's two things. We were talking about this earlier. I forget who said it, but we were talking about. I'll give an example. Two things. I'm sorry. It's a lot of thoughts are in my mind. We had the wildfires here in LA in January, and it was the first time I ever experienced it. My son came to me and he was like, "What are we gonna do?" And I literally looked at him and I was like, "I don't know," because it was my first time experience a wildfire as well. I don't, they in the north of our house, they're in the south, they're sprouting up. You can't drive to San Diego. So, and my son was like, "What do you mean you don't know? You're the dad." And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't grow up in LA. I don't know. This is not an experience that I have. I'm gonna just try and figure it out as we go along. But
bro, and like squad, what Kev just said exactly what I said, bro. Like, people even come to me on a simpler level and just ask me certain things, and I'm like, dawg, you don't understand. Like, put it like this, content, right? People be like, bro, I'm asking you for advice. You got it all figured out, bro. I see how you growing, and you know this, you know that. And I always, put the weight and just tell them and help them the best I can. But deep down, they don't know, bro. It's like I'm honestly just figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I thought in my head about just this and life in general was like, hey, just like, okay, look. Here's what I think about life, squad. I know how to play chess. I taught myself how to play chess at an early age. Sometimes life is just like chess, bro. You just make the best decision that you can in that moment and do what you think is right and live with the consequences, bro. You know what I'm saying? Kind of just figure it out in the same context. But, for example, there's somebody right now, bro, that's children has cancer, right? I want to say I saw some on the news. And this man went into a gas station and tried to rob this gas station, not because it was the right thing to do, but because that was the best decision that he could make in this instance. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what I'm trying to say, squad. My bad. It's late. Look at this, squad. Look. But hey, look, we're gonna let it play, bro.
whole family's looking at me like, you need to know.
And it's that pressure.
But you know what I'm saying? But I don't, right? And then the love part, we all, as black men, it still feels weird for me to cry, especially in front of men.
I love crying.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
It does feel very relieving.
Bro, it's one of the best things to do, brother.
And I remember I felt
I ain't
like
cried in a minute.
I need to be strong for my sons. And I remember when George Floyd passed away, and I'm having to talk to them again. And this isn't even the first conversation. I had to talk to them about Trayvon Martin. I had to talk about Tamir Rice. And by the time George Floyd happened, it's like I have had to have this conversation with my kids so many times. I remember we were all in my room and I broke down crying. Like, I'm trying to explain to them, because my youngest son was like, why does this keep happening to us? And I didn't have the answer. And I fell into I started crying, and my oldest son like hugged me. And that was like, although I felt weak in the moment, it also let him know that this is something that you can do.
Yes.
And I love to share this story, and I'm gonna pass it after this. I was watching this anime called Blue Eye Samurai.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And there was a swordsman who was making swords. He was a master craftsman. He was teaching the main character how to make a sword. Yeah. And she tried to make them pure out of strength. Only strength, the best metal, and the swords kept breaking. Yeah. So the master told her, you have to have strength and softness. Yeah. Because if you don't give the sword weak points, it will crack and break every time. We are either taught or raised or believe that there should be no weakness.
You know, having my daughter taught me that, man.
Yeah.
It taught me that a lot because you can't handle her how you would handle different things. You have to. You have to.
Even my two sons, I thought you can't even handle them. They're both boys, and you can't even handle them.
But I got the little girl first. I think that's what got me out of all of the.
As I can see that. Yeah.
If I had a son first, I would have like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna make him just like me.
Now that having a daughter can do that. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
what does personal healing look like?
That's interesting, and I really love this healing beat because
You say you really what?
I really love the healing.
Okay,
beat,
okay,
right?
okay.
Because there's two parts to it. Like, so when you cut yourself, right? There's the initial cut, and then you still got to move around with it, right? And then as it starts healing, right, it still hurts, right? There's the scab of it. There's all these things. That's the process of it. That's been like my last like 3 years, right? And so for me, like, and just talking like reality, you know, like the way it manifests for me is I'm more me. You know what I mean? And like now I don't have so many questions about, well, why they like me or why they hanging out with me or this and this. The doubts kind of go away because I know I'm showing up 110%. You know, my 100%. But you can't do 110%. 100% myself, right? And I'm connecting with connection. I'm connecting with brothers. I'm connecting with sisters. There's a certain amount of unity, right? That's how it's showing up in my life. You know, things are. Not saying things aren't difficult, you know, at times, but there's a certain ease, right, and a certain self-possession and understanding that is really interesting. And then I take that, right, and I can take it to the Lord. I can take it to God. I can take it to my wife, right?
Yeah,
and there's no like your shoulders aren't up. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this is what I think. This is what I feel. You know.
You talked about it earlier. The isolation, man, is such a dangerous place. I often say the worst place a man can be left is left alone with his thoughts.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes, sir.
It's such a dangerous place, man. So thank you for creating this.
Like I said earlier, squad, I believe that everybody needs somebody, you know what I'm saying? But something about me, squad, I don't care who you are, bro. I can have a conversation with you, bro. White, black, Mexican, you know what I'm saying? And I like to have conversations with people, you know what I'm saying? Just because you never know what they're going through, bro, truthfully. Like, sometimes people just need someone to talk to. Like, there's even people in my job, bro. Old people, you know what I'm saying? As young people, we may not realize it because we got so much going on in a day-to-day basis. But the whole time when these older people, they go home to nothing. They go home to, I know one OG in my job, he told me he has no wife, no grandkids to live with him, no nothing. He just goes home by himself, you know what I'm saying? Nobody to kick it with, nobody to watch the game with, squad. And I would talk to him at work, you know what I'm saying? And just make his day, bro. So that's why I say, like, just always be genuine to people, you know what I'm saying? And always listen, bro, you know what I'm saying?
I just wish I could help more. It's because a lot of these shows that, you know, what call them, it's all about, it's about being sensational. You know what I'm saying? It's not about healing. And I don't like that we have a society that people want to put on platforms the process of you and not be part of the healing of you. And that is something that I think that we've got to start covering each other more. And I just wish that I could have done a better job of creating a safer place that it could have been. And you know, the truth is, who knows? This may be a seed.
No question. No question.
We don't
look out
for each other. It's like the story of Noah, right? When he was drunk, you know, and they covered, you know, his nakedness. We don't cover each other's nakedness.
We point at it. We point at it. We flag at it. We podcast about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
I want to be able to say to all of y'all that I really do respect and appreciate this moment to have with you. And I want to know from all of you, what can we say to the women watching? They may have a man in their life. They may be dealing with these issues. How do they help their kings get to a place and a journey of being whole and healthy?
We just need someone to listen.
I was just finna say that, bro, and I said that in one of the other ones. a lot of men, bro, me speaking on that situation, all men are simple, bro, in my opinion. All men really want is just a woman to be our peace, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that means a whole lot of things. But in a nutshell, just we wanna be around you. We want it to be enjoyable. We wanna be able to come home or come to you and not have to worry about our job, not have to worry about our problems and just things like that. We want it to be like just our peace. You know what I'm saying? And like I said earlier, also, basically, bro, just affirmation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it goes both ways. If you have a man in your life, just tell your husband and your boyfriend, like, hey, I appreciate you getting up and going to work every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm proud of you. And man, vice versa. Tell your woman, like, hey, like, I thank you. Like, I need you. Basically, just letting people know that you care, bro. But hey, that's my take on it if I was here.
Would be the most important thing. Like,
so good.
Sometimes we need
so
people
good.
to just listen
so good.
to what we have to say. Like, just women are security. They want to feel secure.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to provide them with enough security to the point to where they're willing to understand and listen. You know, we just gotta be of service. It goes both ways. And we gotta know when to dribble the ball and also when to pass it. So, you know, I feel like this whole conversation, man, was dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel
for real, bro.
that nobody hold back, and there's gonna be a lot of moments to where, you know, people may say, I don't agree with this or I agree with that, but at the end of the day, we're doing God's work by talking about it. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters. And, you know, I appreciate you, brother, for using your platform to bring me upon, you know what I'm saying, and sit at this table with great people. You know what I mean? So,
and thank you for trusting me.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
I was just gonna say to the women part, and I can only speak to my wife. She never weaponized my vulnerability, and I think that you know, I'm not even a tough street dude or anything like that, but I also never wanted to appear weak in front of my wife.
Yeah.
And that's what my, you know, military brat, you know, it's all orders and, you know, sharp corners and stuff. Like, my dad did not cry. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He never seemed weak to me ever. He cried one time, but it was his dad passed away. But the point is, I never saw that. So when my wife was like, I remember when I first opened up, I'm just giving you a little piece to see if you gonna in 2 weeks be like, yeah, remember when you was crying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. But
women never forget.
I think that happens in a lot of relationships.
It does happen to some men.
Yeah, and then you will never ever get the version of him that you could have got. Yeah, and I think my wife, God bless her, she has allowed me, and with each safety, it allowed me to be more vulnerable with her. To now, if she were to ever, to be vulnerable is to leave yourself open to attack. So now I'm so vulnerable with her, she could do irreparable harm. If she wanted. And that's and because she could and doesn't, we're able to reach a level of love that you can only have if you are truly vulnerable. And she is with me. It's not a one-way street, but I think it's easier for women to be vulnerable, more easy than it is for men.
Yeah.
And it hides the intimacy as well, because you like, and that, I said this in another podcast, like, people often ask me why I don't cheat. Brother, I'm not getting that. Like, do you understand the value of somebody that you can trust to fall asleep, like just to fall asleep? Like, sometimes you can't even fall asleep. They get pictures of you sleep. Like, what kind of peace could if I can't even fall asleep? If my picture is valuable, like, we can't have any trust or relationship if I can't even trust you that I can't fall asleep.
That's beautiful.
And when I was going through that, when my brother passed, she was with me, like, every day, highs, lows. I remember I didn't even know what vulnerability meant. She was
like I said earlier, bro. All men want this to be, put it as simple as you can. It's just for you to be their peace, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's as simple, bro.
I want you to be able to share your fears with me. And I remember telling her, how can I share my fears with you if I don't share my fears with myself?
Wow.
I don't face my fears. So I cannot tell you them, because if I acknowledge them, they're now real.
Wow.
But she, after 10, 15 years of marriage, you needed that to continue to go. Surface stuff, that's not gonna get you 21 years of marriage. You can't be on the surface for 20 years. Eventually, you either want more or there's nothing left. So I think, to answer your question in a shorter way, is not weaponizing vulnerability allows your man, your husband or boyfriend, to be more vulnerable, and therefore you can come back stronger that way.
Doc, what about you?
I would say.
You know what, Doc? I want you to go last. I want you to go. Who didn't go? Did you go?
I'll just speak from what. Oh, I'm just so happy. I think being present, you know, that's a big thing, and also kind of reflecting back to us what it is they see, because she can tell me I'm tired before I know I'm tired, you know, and she can see that I'm uneasy before I know I'm uneasy, you know, and the way she, I mean, I'm just gonna speak about my relationship, my marriage, the way she can coach me through. Wow. And I've given her that vulnerability, right? I'm a highly coachable husband. You know what I mean? You know, I go, tell me what it is. Okay, that's the play. I got it. You know, sometimes I get to run it my way, and sometimes I do it by the book, you know, and I go, okay, cool, you know, and
like I said, like me, bro, I said, bro, I listen to anyone, bro. You can learn from anyone. Anyone can help you. Even a kid can tell you something you didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's my helpmate. You know, and I'm her helpmate. You know, and we talk about holding somebody down. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like, you know, holding his hand, walking through the courtroom. That's part of it. But the other part is, you got to get up. You know what I mean? You know, she clearly understands the mission.
Yeah.
And she supports the mission.
Yeah.
And she pushes the man. And
that's good.
As men, right? It's like having a training partner. You're pushing me to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I fall, you say, okay, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Let's go again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Can I
love
speak
it.
to that real quick?
That's beautiful,
my,
bro.
My wife did that to me.
That's beautiful.
And I mean, I'll tell you what it was.
It's the dopest shit.
It's the best. Like, bro, it was the best. It unlocked a new level of love for her. I was talking about my next tour, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do these church jokes that I've done, because this church tour I'd done well. And I'm like, I can run these old jokes. I'm talking about from when I was like 18, 20. And I'm like, yeah, we do the churches again. Listen, it's gonna be blah, blah, blah. It'll be great. And she looked me dead in my face and was like, you're better than that.
Yep.
She was like, you can go into the lab and dig deeper and work harder and be better than that. And she was like, if you do this, you're taking the easy way out.
That's right.
And I was like, how could you say this to me? Like,
Hey, dog, and I want to put in my 2 cents in. That's beautiful, I want to say, but also I agree, dog, because I believe, bro, that a woman can help them. Like, women need men and men need women, dog. And what they're saying, we all got blind spots. Even me, squad. I ain't perfect, dog. Even you watching this, you got blind spots. You may be doing some of your day-to-day life that you can't see because you only looking at your POV. Like, even right now with me, squad, there could be somebody right now that can come up to me and say, hey, why don't you try this? And I ain't never thought of it because I'm just, you know what I'm saying, squad? You have blind spots, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
how could you challenge me this way? And as a creative,
And he probably didn't even think
way
about
back
it.
in my mind when I was thinking of it, I was like, this is easy, Kev. But I would never acknowledge that.
Right.
And she looked at me dead and she said, you can be better. And I want you to be better.
I've had that chat too, boy.
And I'm like, nobody on earth could ever do that, because nobody even knows those jokes from 20 years ago. And nobody else would care. If you work,
They see the man you are going to be.
Right.
They speak to that.
and they speak to
Melissa.
she's Melissa.
She was speaking to that.
She's speaking to, and like, what a blessing to have somebody see your best self and speak when you are too afraid. She was like, if it takes you, she was like, if it takes you a year of practicing, take the year. And be the best you can be. You remember why you, bro? That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, there's no. That's
gotta be
like,
cheating,
and that's why
bro.
people like why you don't cheat. It's like, bro, I'm not getting that. What I Why would I waste that? Like, you know how valuable that is for somebody to see the best in you for real?
Yes.
With no monetary value.
No lies told, bro.
Just, I see you in the best version of you, and I want you to at least try to be that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's...
No, I have one like that too. I mean, shout out to Tammy Franklin because I mean, you know, I'll never forget when the money got really low one time early on in the marriage, and she was like, "Look, whatever we got to do, whatever we got to change, you know, I got you, you know," and that kind of language speaks to a man.
Yeah.
When you at your lowest,
because that dark voice is like, she gonna leave.
Yeah.
Even if you know that's not true, your mind starts to tell you that. And for her to speak against that.
Yes. So shout out.
My question for you, Kirk, is to kind of stand on that, and I'll answer. But my question for you: has she been the wind beneath your wings, through your projects? Like, how have you navigated through the challenges of having an album do well, and then the thought of like, man, I got to do another album, and it has to be better? How was Tammy in that process?
I was like that in my videos,
what role
bro.
did she play for you?
Tammy, and I say this all the time, Tammy would be an amazing woman without me. You know what I'm trying to say? She's an amazing woman. You know, I'm the one that's had the hard time learning how to be a man. You know what I mean? And often she really deserved somebody that was already more of that man, where I was trying to figure out, because getting married with kids already and a lot of things, I felt the pressure of living. And Tammy had the most incredible father. So I felt the pressure of, okay, you know, I got to try to fill in them shoes. And
see, squad, I want to just throw this topic up there and just put it with me. In my head, I feel like I got to accomplish what I need to accomplish before I get with that woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's been engraved in us young guys' head is like, a woman's not going to really build with you for real, or a woman will hinder your progress. But, I mean, I guess you can't say the wrong woman will, and a good woman will help you. But, hey, that's just my mindset. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong, bro.
So it was my drive has always been more desperation than inspiration.
That's honest. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not that she was not giving it. There's just, you're always chasing ghosts when you don't know where your beginning is.
1000%.
When you don't know where your beginning is. And you know, like I see how Tammy, like being married to a woman that had a good mother and father, it's almost like she's like unreal to me. It's almost like, you know, like they have a confidence and they have a strength. Like I remember asking Tammy once, do you believe that God loves you? She said, yeah, I've never struggled with God loving me. And I had one of my mentors say to me, Kirk, it's hard for you to know God's love as a father when you've never had one. Because it's our first introduction. So Tammy has not done anything wrong in the process of being who Tammy is as my wife. It has always been me trying to learn how to accept it and feel worthy of love.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? You know, you just have a hard time feeling worthy.
Yeah, hard time.
I feel that, bro.
Hard time.
Have you been there before?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I just got to the place where I feel I'm worthy of receiving love.
It's hard.
Because you feel like you have to perform.
And I spent most of my life performing to be liked. Because I was the kid that nobody would pay attention to until I got on that piano. So, but that's a whole nother time, whole nother show. But I would like for you to close out that question.
So the first part of that question to the women, I want to say this. We don't need you to be our healers. And I think a lot of women think that they have to heal the man. Can you aid him in his healing and support it?
That's good.
Yes, be our
Absolutely.
peace, bro.
But you don't have to be the healer.
That's good.
Because if you become the healer once he's well, he's gone.
That's good, Gabe.
So I would definitely encourage the sisters.
It's unfortunate. But
it's unfortunate.
That's that, yeah.
But definitely encourage them to understand how can I support him and to understand where he's at. And Kev talked about it. My biggest fear has always been being emotional blackmail.
Yes.
You know, because when you open yourself up, and this is what women don't understand, is that respectfully, most women, their greatest possession, they would say their bodies. For us, our greatest possession is our vulnerability. Because once a man gives up his vulnerability, he's giving you everything.
Yes.
Because it's not his money.
Yes.
It's that when I start to share secrets.
Yes.
I was molested here.
Yes.
I was abused here.
Yeah.
I heard this at 10 and it still affected me at 40. These become the things that we're now afraid, as you said. Will this become ammunition that when I'm not the best to you, or I'm not at my best, does this now become the same bullets that you're shooting me with? And so for the women, when we are sharing, and even if we share in doses, because we don't have the practice, we don't have the language like women. They were developed emotionally because they got an opportunity to express their emotions.
That's good.
All we know is anger, which is a very low-hanging fruit. So when a lot of men have come into therapy, when men have come into therapy, I have to take them through the emotional chart just so they can identify with other emotions. So women, you have a head start on us and you are very mature in that arena. So knowing that, understanding that creating space for us is everything. And once you create that space, you may have to sit with us in that space.
Wow.
And I'm not telling you to stay there long, sis. I'm not talking about 2-3 years because you get some women. I ain't finna. No, because even to sit at this table, I had to heal my father's wounds. Because when you have not been fathered well, you have a difficult time building a relationship with other men.
And the same with if you had bad relationship with your mother. You have hard times establishing great relationship with the woman. Yeah.
And so
I love, man, what I love what he said is also that should not mean that that woman has to sit in that forever and pamper and babysit that man through that process.
Absolutely. He should be moving forward.
Yes.
And the support that you would give him is the encouragement to keep moving through it. And the one thing that when you ask about what healing means, what healing meant for me was rewriting the story. Because I kept telling myself what my father didn't give me is it was a process that I had to work through. But once I understood his story, I was able to extend grace to say, I get it. Because you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
And I also had to rewrite the story because could I have been taking in what I was receiving inaccurately? That daddy didn't want to give this to me because daddy didn't like me. Maybe daddy was still fighting to be a son while he was a father.
Is this the reason?
That's deep, bro.
Is this the reason why you have made the decision
to help men?
Well, no, to not be married right now in your life?
No, I desire marriage. Desire partnership. As I'm hearing these brothers share, I desire marriage. I desire, I was engaged. I know what it's like to lose a child. I've had the experience of miscarriages and the broken engagement 10 years ago. So I desire what I'm hearing. And this is why I love that he found that in a time where most probably felt he didn't deserve it.
Wow.
But I think that we deserve to be loved when we're not our best because we're often fighting to put on a great show so we will be accepted.
Yeah.
And how beautiful was it to find love at a moment that the world was like, he doesn't deserve that. But God is saying, this is what he needed the most. Yes. And to hear him say how his wife carried him.
I ain't gonna lie, dog. This podcast is beautiful, bro. Like, Kirk, if you ever see this in your life, keep doing what you're doing, bro. This is an amazing podcast, bro. Like, amazing message.
Man, I'm over here and to hear how you're talking about Tammy. So my fight even now, because God, I've done the healing. Amen. And my call and my mission and my anointing is healing men. Yes. So as you were saying, there's times where I'm praying to God and I'm saying to God, you told me to make men my mission. Yes. So where's my mate? Because I don't want to keep pouring, but I've maintained this level of discipline because I also didn't want to be a Samson.
Well, I do. Well, I know something. When this airs, you ain't gonna have to worry about. You ain't have to worry about that. We're gonna have to get you security. Get some sort of filtering system. Let me tell you something.
As you were saying that, I was thinking, oh Lord.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's close this out,
That's
y'all.
why what you represent and allowing the world to see your transformation and to see your evolution. Because Kurt know this, like, you know, we're in our 40s.
Yeah.
I don't see black men age well.
Yeah.
That's why when he's posting his workout videos, and I'm like, dude, you don't have to. When we're in our 40s and we're finding new things to go after, because so many guys in their 40s are like, oh, life is over.
You want to know something, brother? The black men I've been around, they fighting to even try to make. They used to be 18. Now it's really like 16, 15. But, you know, it's a beautiful thing I've come to, because I used to feel the same way. Will I make it to 16 and 18?
You know what? It just clicked for me, NLE. You are old. Like, from where you come from. 22 is old. You talking about you losing life at 15, 16. To be 22, you like, bro, you feel like you might feel like you're 40 years old.
I feel 50.
Yeah.
But to furthermore that point, man, I remember when I was young, I used to want to be able to make it to 16. Wow. And there used to be days where I felt that
just to 16 years old.
But now, and this is something I realized that black men should start to practice. I envision me as a grandfather.
Yeah.
We never envision ourselves growing old. We're really scared of growing old.
Right. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's deep. I don't even, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I told one of my homeboys, like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I don't see myself even married, bro. You know what I'm saying? Greater less with kids. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never thought about this, dog.
I really think about it. We start to look at the clock and we feel like the clock going against us. But
you know what, though, NLE?
We never want to see us.
I always envision myself as a grandfather.
See, but
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I just came into it.
I'm the
like,
same age
I think that's a big difference.
But I'm speaking on the people that's my age.
No, that's what I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, man.
I'm agreeing with you. Like, it's just a difference of like, it just clicks for me.
Let me close this out, guys. Let me close out. Let me say to you, thank you.
Man, thank y'all.
Thank you, King.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And boy, I love you. I love you. And I want to say to everybody watching, there's no way to have a conversation that is hitting so many people in our culture and it's going to be pretty. This is not a pretty journey. This is a rough road when you're talking about transparent places, vulnerable places. And I want to let you know that you're not by yourself. When you're alone and those thoughts are coming and those fears and anxieties are coming, I need for you to know that even the strongest of us, we need a little help along with our prayer. A lot of times faith without works is dead. And don't let nobody demonize you. Don't let nobody belittle you. Don't let nobody weaponize the text.
Hey, bro, I know it's, never mind, bro. I'll save it for another conversation.
Against you. Just understand that where you are not by yourself. And we want you to know that we believe in the King in you. Thank you for coming and talking with these kings at this table, because it's been beautiful, man. Thank y'all for joining us to the Den of Kings, y'all. Come on, let's lift it up. I know it's just water, but lift it up, lift it up.
I ain't gonna lie, squad. So that's the video, bro. But see, if you watch all these videos, I salute you, dog. But this is just amazing conversation, dog. Like I mess with stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like me getting away from all the entertainment content, the police reactions. Like this is what I like to watch on a daily basis. Is me. You know what I'm saying? So I hope y'all mess with it. I hope y'all relate to me, bro. But I ain't gonna say too much. I appreciate y'all 100.